Hi John, it's Maura. I thought since you had suggested we drop things to the Dropbox by Saturday, I would send you a video that details my project, and then if you still wanted me to meet with you on Monday, I could certainly do that. But just as a refresher, we took the game Chocolate Fix with all of the chocolates, and we tried to come up with another sort of activity that I could do for my math project. Initially, I thought I was to reinvent the game and make it applicable to chemistry just because that's my background. And so as I explained to the class, I had initially thought of using something like my camera screen or my computer screen illustrates here, and I thought maybe perhaps I could use solid, liquid, or gas particles, and they're different colors as the chocolate pieces. But the difference between using those particles and the chocolate pieces, there is some overlap. For example, hydrogen can be a gas, it can also be a liquid, and so unlike the chocolates where they don't change color or they don't overlap, this wasn't a suitable activity for this particular game. So instead, I took the game board itself, rearranged the chocolates randomly, and then took photos of those random arrangements. And I myself came up with the cards that came with the game. So you'll recall that the game, you have beginner pieces, you have intermediate, you have advanced, and you have expert. And so what I did was make up my own cards. I have a beginner stack of cards, I have an intermediate, an advanced, and an expert stack of cards. And so I came up with those cards, and in following those cards you should be able to figure out the puzzle that I have created using this photo. So I asked different volunteers to help me out, and I gave them the cards, I gave them the chocolate game pieces, and then they had to follow the cards and arrange the chocolates according to the cards. And then they were given this card, flipped it over to see if they indeed found the answer. Then I asked the volunteers to try and solve the puzzle with as few cards as possible and to tell me which cards they removed. And I'm also including those videos so you can see the process that took place. I'm also sending along in my document 4 Word documents, and they are the cards that I created, I printed, I cut up, and laminated. I did learn a couple of things. First of all, this one is pretty straightforward, 3 by 3, so it's pretty easy. This is the left column, center, and right column. This one, however, I did learn that initially when I created the card, I had it spaced, not deliberately so, but that's just how it appeared on the computer. And so my volunteer automatically assumed that this first row was missing, so this was second and third row, and then automatically assumed, because it was tabbed so far to the left, that this was the first column of 3. So I've since corrected the cards and moved them closer so it's not as obvious which column or which row they belong to.
Alright, so I'm going to explain to you what my strategy is for Maura's math game. So basically, I'm just going to take these puzzle cards right here, and I'm going to pick a certain spot on here, on this tray, and I'm going to look for cards of that spot. So I'm going to pick right here, for example, and so I'm just going to look on here for that spot. And so I know it's a triangle now, and I know that it's dark chocolate. Is that dark chocolate? Yeah. So now I know that it's a triangle dark chocolate. And now, well, since there's already a hint on it, I'm just going to do that one now. And I know that it's a square, so I'm just going to look in here for a square. I mean, for the same spot. Yeah, there we go, light brown. So now we're just going to take the light brown square and put it right there. And then you just keep doing that for the rest. And, oh, you want me to do it for the, okay, alright. So for the next spot, it's also light brown. So I'm just going to look through the cards for that same spot. Okay, it's a triangle, so a light brown triangle. Alright, and we're just going to do that spot now, which is in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. So it's a square, I know that for sure. Don't know anything else about it. So all I know is it's a square. And we have 2 squares left, so we're gonna hold it for that one. We'll just do this one right here, so that's that one. And I know it's a circle. So let's see if we can find anything else. Okay, it's pink. So into that. Now we'll do this bottom one, or the top one from your side. So I know it's a dark chocolate, and don't know anything else about it. So it's either this one or this one. Alright, so now we'll just do this spot over here, which is a circle and is dark chocolate. So now that other one that was dark chocolate, which is this one right here, we can already know that it's a square. That's just like a memorization, like, yeah. And now there's only 3 left. And I remember one in the middle was a certain shape with only 2 left. So we're gonna try and find that one. Yeah, it's also a square, so it's pink. Now for the bottom left or bottom right. Okay, so bottom right is a triangle, and since there's only one triangle, we're gonna put that there. So then this must go here, and so let's see if we're right. Okay, so we got it right. Wait, which way is it? Oh yeah, that one. So yeah, that's the Tom strategy. Alright, so after solving the last puzzle, I was wondering if it was possible to solve this puzzle without certain cards. What I did was I tried the puzzle without just this one, and I did do it. It just was it was quite a bit harder. But then I tried it without this one and this one, both together. Not like in the puzzle, like both like together out of it. And it was harder, but it was still possible. The reason that I picked both of them to get out is because they have the least amount of information. Because they only have 1 each, while all the other ones have 2 hints each. So yeah. So basically, the more cards you reduce, the more difficult the puzzle gets until eventually becomes impossible to solve. So, yeah, anyways.
Alright, so I'm going to try to solve this. So that's got the least amount of variables, so I'm going to try to put the shapes in at least. So circle, 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 square, 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 triangle, triangle, triangle. Alright, so that's that one. So we'll go with the ones that have got the most squares showing. So there's 6 squares on that one, 6 squares on that one. We'll start with these 2. So with these, there has to be 2 browns here or 2 browns here. Because there are 2 circles here, they can't be here, so they have to be here. So this has to be brown, and this one has to be brown. So can't change those. All right. This one, it's also got 6. We need to somehow either maybe put that here, like this, or switch these 2. Yeah, so it's either that one or that one. Not sure which. So we need more information. So with this one, that one satisfies that. So still need more information. So with that one, so we got 4 squares here and 4 squares here. So with this 4 squares, we need a light brown one in the middle, or the light brown one there, or light brown one there, or a light brown one there. So we're satisfied with 3 times that one. So this one has got 2 shades on it. We got a pink and dark brown here. So we got either, we're gonna move these 2, switch these 2 around. And we're still satisfied here, maybe. So we need to, we're still satisfied there. We're still satisfied with that one. Satisfied with this one. And we're satisfied with that one. Okay, with this one, we're good here. With this one, we're good at the bottom row. And with this one, okay, we get a problem. I need a dark chocolate at the top of one of the columns. Because we know, maybe we can switch these 2. We're still good. We switch those 2. We're still good there. We're still good there. Still good there. We're still good there. We're still good with that one. We're still good with this one. And we're still good with that one. So I think that's the solution. What is that? What is the solution? So yes, that's correct. You got it right.
Okay, so we began with this card because it gives us the most information and we're kind of drawn toward the colors. So we didn't jump into putting the chocolates in right away like other students did. We looked at if we could find any other information and kind of matched with this. So we jumped into just like kind of reading left to right. We jumped into this one. We realized that these bottom 2 are triangles. So then we match with the previous information given, and that's going to be a dark chocolate. So we follow this bottom triangle. It's going to be dark, and that's going to be light.
Light, yeah.
And then just following this, it's going to be square, and we were already given that this is going to be triangle, and if we look right here, it's going to be triangle on the top as well. We only have 1 triangle left. It's going to be there. So this must be the 2 most right columns. So these are square, so we're going to have a dark on top.
And the light one
And light.
right here.
Yes. All right. So that's the middle one. So we're going to also have a pink square in the middle.
The last square left.
Yep.
And we only have circles left.
We do.
So
And then we
pink
can,
one gives it away.
Yes.
And colors just kind of give it away. So only shapes left.
There we go.
Yeah.
So now looking at which cards to eliminate, we decided to look at if there's any cards that share information. So we found that these cards, this triangle and this triangle, are both in the same location. So we could get rid of either one. But we can also look at these squares, and we just doing the puzzle so many times, we know that these 2 squares are the rightmost squares, and as are these squares. So this square and that square are in the same location, so that gives the same information. So essentially we could get rid of any one of these 4 cards and still solve the puzzle. So if we were to get rid of, let's say, this card and solve the puzzle, we have a light brown and pink, and then 2 squares. Yep. Yes. And that's a dark chocolate. Yep. And that's that, and that's that, and that's that, and this one, that's pink. It goes there. And then we know that that's a triangle. Yes. Good.
Just because of the colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start with the ones with 3x3. So this one has 3x3. So we know that the whole left side or the whole right side is cream. So let's plug those in any order. Okay, so we started with the cards with the most information. So these two give out the most information. Starting with this one, we know that all the right side is going to be cream colored. So we plug those in. Good, perfect. Then looking at this one, it's also 3x3, so we know that the top two are circles. Good, perfect. This one, just the way it's formatted on the card, we can tell that this middle one is going to be a circle, so that one, and then making the L, that one's going to be a circle. So we just swap those two. Then back to this one, we don't have enough information for. This one is going to make an L of two darks, so we put a dark up here. Good. This one, it's going to be two triangles, so that could be anywhere, and then two pinks, which from experience we know is right here and here, two pinks in the middle. And then from this one we know that it's a square and a triangle. And this one, you can tell it's a circle, a square, and a triangle, so just finish with the triangle there, and there we go, it's done. Alright, so we were looking at cards with similar information to see which ones we can eliminate, and we decided that it was these three, just looking at this shape of the cards, judging by the missing row here. So we placed that these are the bottom two rows, and looking at this, these are the bottom two rows, so that triangle and that triangle share a spot, and then this square and that square share a spot. So then taking away card 3 because it has the least amount of information. So take away card 3. And then solving the puzzle again. So we have 3 creams on the right side. And then 2 dark chocolates on the top. Right, yep, you got it. Then 2 pinks in the middle and there.
Square triangle.
Right, square, triangle. And then looking at this one again, so we know square, circle, triangle is the bottom. So we know the triangle is there. The bottom, yep. That one's there. And then that's complete.
Hi John, just a couple of closing thoughts. Hopefully my project met with your expectations and I have succeeded in completing the final project successfully. I want to say how much I appreciated the time and effort you put into this course. I certainly appreciated that it was a hybrid course. I was very glad I was able to make all 3 Saturday meetings in the end, especially when I was unclear as to whether or not I could attend the 3rd. I also appreciated the online discussions with the puzzle. It was neat to see how different colleagues approach different problems and discuss those and what worked for one another and so on and so forth. It was neat for Heather to point out that I was definitely a very visual person and liked my colors and markers and so on and so forth. I was also glad that I was able to attend Dr. Danielle Cox's presentation at UMBSJ. Again, very interesting to work with colleagues and to see more puzzles and different approaches that were taken to handle those both in the classroom and amongst colleagues. Have a very happy holiday, and if you want me to meet with you on Monday morning, if you have any questions, concerns regarding my project, please let me know. If not, I can definitely drop off the puzzles that I borrowed from you at some point either before or during the holiday season. Thanks again. Bye for now, John.